Friends, it was a great week this week because I finally got my hands on the jam.
Yeah, you did. Can you please tell the Out Louders how you got your hands on it? Because it was not a PR package from Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, was it?
Funnily enough, Meghan, we're not on Meghan's list.
No,
maybe
evidently.
we talk about her a little too much.
Yeah.
The person who sent me the jam, Meghan's jam, in case you're wondering, is an amazing Out Louder called Erica, and she lives in Maine in America. And because the thing is Megs does not at this point ship internationally, which seems selfish.
Yeah, rude.
Yeah, very rude. Because I want the rosé, I want all the things. Anyway, Erica packaged us up some jam.
Erica.
And sent it over. And I did subject Jessie to a taste test. I came to find you at your desk and you disappeared.
I left early.
But I will be, you saw me coming.
It was a Monday. It had been a long week.
Yeah. She was like,
everyone can leave at 2 p.m. on Monday.
I'm out of here. But I will chase you down because all the Out Louders wanted to know when I posted about it is what's it like, what's it like, what's it like. Mm-hmm. There are two really important things you need to know about jam. It's not jam.
It's preserve.
It's not even preserve. It's spread. Raspberry
That
spread.
means something went wrong.
What's the difference?
She got something wrong.
Well, the story goes that she says the reason it can't be called jam is because it is a bit lower in sugar than normal jam.
Tastes pretty sweet to me.
I know, because jam needs a very high sugar content to be able to call itself jam, apparently. So that's why she calls it spread. But also it's why it's runny. You know, a lot of people said when I put it on the toast, they're like, it's runny.
Yeah.
It's not as jammy as jam, which is sticky. Anyway, I'm into it.
It looks nice
a legend.
and thick.
You're more of a jam connoisseur than I am.
Brent is the award-winning scone maker of the South Coast, remember?
So what would you give it out of 10?
Look, I haven't tried the raspberry yet because I'm taking it home. I'm like, I can't open it until I get
It's a bit selfish.
close to
Erica
it.
sent it to all of us.
Erica knew that it was important to me. And so I'll report back on the raspberry when I've spread it on one.
But how about the strawberry?
I thought it was good.
But what would you give it out of 10, Holly?
Oh, okay, 8.
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty high.
It's runny. It ran off the toast.
The runniness marks it down a tiny bit. The other thing that Erica sent us that was very important was the flour sprinkles.
Which are tasteless.
And we are now going to put those on everything.
They're fun, but they got stuck in your teeth, didn't
Yeah, they did. I'm going to come up behind you when you're having your Thai salad or your chicken sandwich, and I'm just going to do a little like Meghan sprinkle.
I love that.
But look, it's been a very happy week for me.
Collagen is everywhere in skincare right now. But with Dr. Lewin's Collagen Surge Plumping Pearls, you can really see the difference. A gel with actual collagen pearls, the results speak for themselves. 84% of Australian women felt their skin was noticeably plumper after just 1 hour. Dr. Lewin's, it's skincare that's made for the Australian woman.
Hello and welcome to Mamamia Out Loud. It's what women are actually talking about on Friday, the 28th of November, and holy shit, it's the 28th of November. I'm Holly Wainwright.
I'm Vernem.
I'm Jessie Stevens.
And what's on our agenda for today? Women have never been hornier. No context, that's all I'm telling you.
Speaking of, the gossip story of the year and the sex term that I wish I did not know the meaning of. I learned it this morning. I said the term out loud.
Yeah.
Everyone went quiet and I was like, why is everyone being weird about this term? And then I Googled it and went, what?
So in case you're worried that this show is going to be very unsafe for work, only little bits.
A little bit.
Only little bits. But it is like the scandal of the year.
Yeah.
We also have a fair few recos to get through today. I put in so much work into my reco, more than the entire show.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to need everyone to have an open mind about this.
Open minds. But first, Wicked for Good is currently in theatres. Have either of you seen it?
I haven't, but I actually will probably go because I didn't mind the first one.
3 hours of my life, isn't it? Like, is it really?
It's shorter than the first one by 30 minutes.
How long is that? 4 hours?
Like 5 and a bit.
6.5.
Have you seen it?
I have seen it. I went to the Sydney premiere. It was
She's very
very,
fancy.
very good. It was kind of just like an extension of the first movie, which is kind of what they were going to. They filmed it back to back. It's like the second half of the musical, basically.
Okay, great. I think I'm going to enjoy that. I think I will probably go this weekend.
It's really nice. It's basically about, I mean, if you don't know Wicked, yes, you do. It's like the Wizard of Oz spin-off.
Yeah.
This was my, I don't mean to be a Grinch because if you love it, you love it. But like I found the first movie too long because I'm like, plot line.
Have you watched the musical?
Good witch goes bad. Yeah, but like, sure. You know what I mean?
But does she go bad?
Well,
or does she
I
go
think she
rogue?
does.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you're thinking, so you're like a Wizard of Oz purist.
Oh.
Whereas like people who love Wicked go, oh, the Wizard of Oz was propaganda.
Yeah.
And this is the true story.
Okay.
So it's about Elphaba, who's like the wicked witch, and her friendship with Glinda, who's the good witch, Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande.
I do enjoy their dynamic
Their
on the press tour.
dynamic.
Yeah,
They're
that's
very, very close
fun.
friends.
So me and Jessie, I like to hold her nails a lot.
They're very, very cute together. So NPR decided to ask people what they thought about the Wicked movies, and they decided to ask people whose, in my opinion, is the only opinion I really care about, which are other witches.
Right.
So they interviewed
Etsy witches?
I don't know, maybe some of them could be on Etsy to make some money. But I also had to look this up. Because I thought every time I referred to them as witches, I felt like it was a bit of a slur. But you're allowed to call witches witches.
And NPR did say they're self-described witches.
Yes.
And I was like, they identify.
Yeah,
They're
identify
not
as
walking
witch.
down the street going, you look like a witch.
No.
Tell me what you think. It wasn't
No,
like
no,
that.
no.
So they interviewed one witch. Her name is Mama Rainbow.
Sounds legit.
And she refers to herself as an eclectic witch. And when she was asked about Wicked, she said, I love how they humanize Elphaba and Glinda to show that witches are just regular people.
Are they though? Is there anything regular about Ariana Grande or
witches?
Cynthia Erivo? Question. Anyway.
Well, I mean, they like being friends. And like friends is quite a human
That's
quality.
nice, yeah.
They also interviewed a witch named Juju Bay, who is a hoodoo practitioner, initiated Ocean priestess.
And what did she think?
Okay, so she said she loves Wicked, but she does have some concerns.
Oh.
She says she doesn't like how Wicked has taken the secret art and practices of witchcraft and is moving it to mainstream.
Uh-oh.
She said she hates that Wicked has contributed to what she calls over-commercialization and over-consumption of witchcraft.
No one likes it when everyone starts liking their thing.
Yeah.
You're just like, I was here first. I like their old stuff. Don't you go jumping on the bandwagon. That's kind of, that's that vibe.
I liked that comment too because it then the article explicitly linked to her YouTube channel, which I then followed to her website where you too can get a shamanic counselling session for $150 an hour. And I was like, don't you hate the overconsumption of witchhood? Don't you hate it? We're all profiting.
I think they want us to stay in our lane. Like they want us to...
But they don't feel offended by it.
Yeah, no, but we can't be witches. They just want us to like...
Yeah, respect their craft.
Respect witches.
Yeah.
What about crystals and candles and all that stuff? What about saging things? Am I getting too witchy? Am I treading on anyone's toes?
It's cultural appropriation.
Yeah, I don't
think
think you should tell them you're doing that.
Oh, no.
that's private.
Last week, friends, did you see the Vanity Fair cover with all the hot men on it?
Oh, did I see it? This is how I woke up in the morning. So I was asleep and then I looked at my phone and I went back to sleep and I went, wait a minute. And then I immediately read every single profile.
Because it was Vanity Fair's Hollywood issue. They do it once a year. They've done it since 1995. It's a big deal. They decide, it's like the year that they time of year they handpick who the big stars in Hollywood are.
They usually do the Oscar runners.
Yeah, people who are going to be in the Oscars, people who are hot up and comers. I remember I bought the first one ever in 1995. My mate Gwyneth was on it.
Oh.
Everyone was like, who's that? And I'm like, yeah,
Just you wait.
Just you wait. The things she's going to do. Sometimes they do a single sex one. And this year, theirs is called Let's Hear It for the Boys, our new class of leading men. Austin Butler, Paul Mescal, Michael B. Jordan,
Big yes.
Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
I love him. A$AP Rocky. Is he in movies now?
He's in movies now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He is so hot.
Yeah.
Very good looking.
Jeremy Allen White. Lakeith Stanfield,
Yes.
Riz Ahmed, Jonathan Bailey,
Yes.
and M's boyfriend Callum Turner,
bestie.
the one who loves Dua Lipa
Wasn't
loudly.
my crush was there too? Harry Dickinson, was he there?
Harris Dickinson.
Yes.
Harris
Oh,
Dickinson's there.
he was there
And
somewhere.
you know who else is there? Is Andrew Garfield.
Yes, he's there as well.
He's lovely. Yeah.
He's a little bit older than those guys. I think
Yeah.
he just managed to squeeze into the hot
Andrew.
young
No, I'll
things, but
allow
I
it.
do love him. Anyway, this is the thing they do every year, but this year's crop of young men or hot men seemed exceptionally hot, and the response was kind of hysterical. They were like the obsessive memes everywhere you looked, because it wasn't that all of the shots were like shirtless and stuff. There was a bit of romping in the ocean going on and running around on a beach in suits.
Wearing neon coloured pants.
Yes. But it was seen as being intensely sexy.
Yeah.
And this came obviously just a few weeks after People's Sexiest Man Alive, which was Jonathan Bailey, and the almost hysterical response to that.
We didn't even talk about it on the show because our response was tick.
Correct.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And of course, Jonathan Bailey is a gay man, right?
Yeah, he's a gay man. Yeah. And it feels to me like there is a level of hysteria and like rip your clothes off and this is my dream and all those things that is louder than it's been from the women's. And I mean, it's nothing new, I guess. You know, we've always had pop star heartthrobs and we've had Brad Pitt and Thelma and Louise and we've had K-pop guys who drive all the young girls crazy and stuff.
Not like this. We're being
But it
very
feels-
humpy.
We are. Like, I'm
intense.
thinking about like Robert Irwin on Dancing with the Stars and how those videos go around. And I feel like it's kind of mainstreaming openly lusting about internet boyfriends. Am I right that the volume's gone up about this?
Are 100% right. Can I read out some comments I've seen
Please do.
on this
Please
shoot?
do.
Okay. Raw. Next question. Can you just reject me so I can move on? And flash us. Who said that?
Flash us.
I think that also you put this into like the cultural context of smut and how they're the books that are selling.
Yes, right?
We have our book club coming up where we talk all about All Fours by Miranda July, which is the sexy midlife book. It is the sex toy boom. It is peri/menopausal women going, give me some testosterone. I still have a sex drive. I'm still a sexual being, all that kind of stuff. And there's this female sort of thirstiness that we're becoming more and more comfortable with.
Yeah.
And what I can't work out is if women have always been like this, but now it's allowed, or if our sexual desire is kind of culturally constructed and so we're all kind of going, I don't know, maybe our desires are starting to change. And also it used to be the kind of Marvel hunk
Yeah.
was the vision of like what women wanted. But now it's like they're listening. And it's like that big bodybuilder type isn't everyone's type.
Yeah.
Some of us like a Paul Mescal with a little tear down his cheek.
I think it's completely directed to the men. And I think this has come from the idea that men don't get complimented enough and women see that and they're like, okay, we'll compliment you, but only if you do the right thing. Because I remember we talked about an Anne Helen Peterson Substack a while ago on the men who like women.
Yes.
Every man in this issue like women.
Because
There are no problematic bros
No problematic
on that
guys
cover.
in
they
this
all
cover.
treat you well,
Yeah.
and I'm into that.
And we're loudly thirsting over them to tell other men, like, this is exactly what we want. If you don't only, like, you can't, like, it's not just about being hot. You have to have everything else. Like, you have
so
to
when
be
you're
proud.
saying that this is directed at men, you mean like literally we are validating and pedestaling these guys for the benefit of all the average dudes that you like swiping on apps kind
Yeah.
of thing, going, this is
Yeah.
it. Okay, but the problem with that, right, because I love that interpretation and I reckon you're right, is like women have always been objectified like this. You know, think about how many times you see a woman on a cover of a magazine and she's not wearing any clothes, a gaggle of women not wearing any clothes, the Sydney Sweeney of it or whatever. And we don't like that. Like we don't like that. And, you know, we've discussed it a lot. The message is out there that kind of objectification is a bit ick. We don't really want to hear guys like going, oh, she's so hot. Like we don't really like that. And it's interesting because one of the best-selling books in the world right now is Scott Galloway's book about notes on being a man. And his, you know, there's problems with that, whatever. But one of his arguments in that book is that we've demonized male horniness. We've like made it something dangerous and something to be suppressed, which is an interesting. And he's saying we shouldn't always do that because it's an engine, like it's a motivator, and it can be really good at making men like get out in the world and do things. That's his argument. I'm not saying I necessarily agree, but it feels a little bit like mainstream culture. We're like suppressing male horniness and valorizing female horniness. I quite like it.
I like it because, let's be honest, female horniness isn't dangerous, right? Like, and I think that that's it. Not that all male horniness is, but
It has a dangerous edge.
it has a dangerous edge when you think about sexual violence and you think about domestic violence, which are two things that, you know, we talk about increasingly, and we know that the rates are high. A lot of women have experienced it. And so there's something subversive about women being vocally like thirsty. And it doesn't feel like it's got that sinister side.
I agree. But I think to your point earlier about are we responding to the culture? Has it always been there? I think it's always been there. But I think that because have you ever been, and I haven't for a very long time, but in my 20s, and that was a long time ago, I was writing a story about male strip groups.
Yep.
And I went to like a Manpower concert in London. You have never seen a hornier group of people than a lot of women. Remember the, what you call them?
I went to the Magic
show.
Mike.
Oh,
I
yeah.
went to one. It was like in a circus tent. It was so sexy.
Yeah.
It was so hot. I was so into it. It was very cool. I followed one of them on Instagram. He still pops in. He's got a lovely girlfriend.
But a horde of women, particularly maybe they've been on the bitch diesel.
Yeah.
Like there is something quite scary about that. Not scary in the way that male
No, but they're full
horniness is
on.
scary.
They're
But
salivating.
it's there. But the thing is I think that used to be kind of mocked a bit, like that level of female undisguised female sexual desire was like a bit tragic. And I feel like maybe what's shifted in the culture is it's not seen as tragic now. It's seen to be something to be celebrated. And to what you were saying, Jessie, about at different stages in your life, because I was reading this big piece about how a pill for female libido is supposed to be coming back.
Yeah.
New York Times. People have been talking about it forever and whether or not women really want it. Oh, is there a market for it? And this particular woman, she's called Cindy Eckert. She's an American woman who invented a pill. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, except to say that when we say female Viagra, I'm just using the nickname. That's not what it's called, and it's definitely not approved or available in Australia. And of course, we're not discussing it in any kind of medical use. But back to Cindy, she's been trying to get this pill on the mainstream market for decades, and she's come up against all these barriers that don't all seem to actually be medical, but more cultural. And then, as the New York Times wrote, as women binge read copies of all fours, as you've said, devour stories about Gen X women having the best sex of their life, women of all ages are prioritizing their own sex lives. So we played the long game, Eckert says, and culture caught up. So it's like women are saying that in the way that we're allowed to be sexual beings at some parts of our lives, ideally while we're young and hot and in our 20s. When we become mothers, we don't like it. We don't like it when women are too sexy when they're mums. And then when we become older, we don't like it either because we're like, surely you're all dried up now and not really interested in this stuff anymore. And I think that as women have more of a voice, we're going, yes, we are.
Yeah, and we've accepted that women's lives have natural ebbs and flows when it comes to sexual desire, and it's like, oh, during motherhood and menopause and da-da-da.
Yeah, does it feel like pressure?
Whereas I think that it can, but it's just interesting that we've never accepted that with men. Like virility and sexual desire is critical. It's like from the day, I don't know, your voice drops or whatever, to the day you die, as a man, you should be wanting it all the time.
Yeah, and what I was saying before about Galloway's point where he says it's like an engine. Like his thing was he said that horniness is like fire. It can be dangerous, to your point before, Jessie, or it can be harnessed to be a great like engine, energizer.
Yeah.
But somehow, and we sort of go, oh yeah, guys are like that. But women can be like that too.
Yeah, but I think with women's horniness, the difference is that men's horniness just sticks on the surface level, whereas like women's runs a bit deeper. Like I know so many of my guy friends are obsessed with Dua Lipa just because she's hot.
Yeah.
Like they might like her music, but there's no way they know that she has a podcast or a book club or she's like an activist. Whereas like women, we see, like if my biggest crush was Paul Mescal, I'm like watching everything he's in. I'm reading every interview he does. Even like the Magic Mike show. When I went, the number one rule we were told was you can't touch the dancers.
No, certainly not.
And no dancers were touched. So
no, women get it.
Women get it.
To the argument about whether or not it's pressure to go, well, now you have to be horny all the time, postpartum, post-menopause, post-everything. What's your excuse? Like horny. That can definitely be pressure. But also, if your sexuality was quite an important part of your identity and then you lose it, and it can be really challenging. Like it's not that you necessarily feel that external pressure, but you can be like, that used to be a big part of who I was, and suddenly I couldn't think of anything. I'd rather have a cup of tea. The famous quote is like, I'd rather have a cup of tea. And so I think the idea of being able to turn that on if you could, if you want to, not under pressure from somebody else to do it.
And that was also masking things like the fact that women weren't getting the support they needed after birth, that painful sex was totally normalised, that sexual dysfunction was just part of being a woman, that there was no such thing as pelvic floor physios, that kind of stuff. And now I think that there's been this injection into women's health and also a focus on like, it is a health issue. Like if you're having painful sex or if you, whatever it is, you deserve to have that part of your life if you want it.
Yeah.
I love your point, that we think that all these guys on the Vanity Fair cover would definitely bring us a cup of tea and a heat pack.
They would.
They would. Would they?
It's Friday. We are going to set up your weekend with a few very exciting recommendations. Em, you go first.
Okay, I've got a big one today. So my recommendation is the guitar F1 race this weekend.
Okay, can you tell me what this is all about? Because I obviously have inhaled the Drive to Survive every single episode. I have seen these headlines. Why do I need to watch it this weekend? Something's happened and I don't know what's happened.
Okay, I'm going to break it down for everyone.
Okay.
Even if you don't watch F1, I'm going to tell you why you need to watch this race. Okay, so F1, 20 drivers, 10 teams, 2 drivers per team, 24 races. We have 2 more races coming up.
For the whole season?
For the whole season. So
it's near the end.
Near the end. So if you're not across F1, drivers race to win points. And if you come first in the race, you get 25 points, and then second, 18 points, third, and then you're 10th and you get 1 point. And then if you're below 10, you get 0 points. So the aim for the driver is to become a world champion each year. And to become world champion, you need the most points.
Yes, which Lewis Hamilton has won a million times.
Lewis Hamilton's won heaps of times.
Max Verstappen
has been the current winner. He's won the last. Don't reach for your water, Holly.
And Max Verstappen, and I will say,
this is my cue to drink.
Speaking of female horniness.
And every F1 driver.
Every F1 driver, if you need a reason to watch it. But I have, during pregnancy, been having very intense dreams about some men.
Oh.
F1 drivers I've had sex dreams about.
Some of them on this list.
Lando Norris. Lando Norris, I have a serialized relationship with in my sleep.
I forget that he's your favourite.
He's my favourite. So I need him to win and I need you to tell me some good news about Lando Norris because this is his year. Also George Russell. Max Verstappen, not my type.
Very good looking.
Okay.
Come on.
For those of us who are not watching F1, come on. Jessie's piqued my interest a little bit.
So up until now.
But now tell me why.
The McLaren team have been doing the best. They have 2 drivers. Jessie's Lando Norris, who drives for England, and Oscar Piastri, who's an Australian. So by law, we all have to be fans of Oscar Piastri because we're Australian. Okay, the first half of the season, Oscar was winning every race. He was coming on top. He was getting the most points. We were like, this is Australians' chance to win a championship.
Yeah.
Halfway through, that switched. Lando Norris started winning all the races. Oscar dropped down to the point where a lot of rumours started that McLaren's favouring Lando. They were making some team decisions that put Lando up first.
And that's when my dreams got really intense. I got really into it and I was like, Lando, we've got it this year. There was discussion about me naming my child Lando. No. Yes.
Okay. So up until now, everyone was like, okay, this is going to be a bit of a boring end of season because Lando's definitely going to win.
Yep.
He's beating everyone by so many points.
I put it to bed.
Oscar felt like he was getting like a bit of like stage fright, like he just wasn't performing. It was like it's going to take a miracle for anything to change. And then a miracle happened. Last weekend, we're in Las Vegas for the Grand Prix. Max Verstappen actually won. He got 25 points. Lando came second, so he got 18 points. Oscar came 5th, so he got a few points. And everyone was like, yay, Max won, everyone loves Max. But it's like still not good enough. He still can't beat Norris. Lando Norris is still at the top. After the race, they do their podium, they drench the drivers in champagne, everyone's happy.
And then something happened.
Somebody fell over and broke an arm.
The cars have to be checked, right?
No.
Because the cars have to be up to code. And then it was announced on the McLaren cars, the thickness of the rearmost skid of both cars were less than the required thickness, meaning Both Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri were disqualified.
Oh.
No points. No points for Lando and Oscar.
Because there was something wrong with their skid.
Something was wrong with their skids.
You know this from your Bob Jane T-Mart's work.
Yeah.
So
I'm very fluent in tyres and you don't want to mess with your skids.
Okay. We're getting there. Now, Lando Norris is on 390 points. Oscar Piastri is on 366 points. Max Verstappen also on 366 points. There's only 2 races left. And everyone is so locked in because it could still be anyone's championship.
I think I'll cry if it's Norris. This is his one chance. This is his chance. It's got to be Lando Norris. Come on.
Holly, this is like 2 more races left.
He's from your
I
country.
like sport. I do not consider this a sport.
Oh, Holly Wainwright. All right, we're all watching it over the weekend. I'm watching it. Lando Norris, come on.
Yep.
He's
So I
just
need
got his
everyone to
cute
be
little
awake
face.
for the race. It's going to be Monday at 3 a.m.
Oh my God. And it gets
It's in
worse.
Qatar.
I'm going to be so tired on
It's
Monday.
men and cars.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I
And
love
next
it.
time you guys slag me off for talking about gardening, I'm just bringing up that 5 minutes. That's
We should
all
have
I'm
a working
gonna say.
tally. Every time you talk about gardening, we can talk about cars.
Yes, exactly. Lando should have been in that Vanity Fair.
Oh,
He would have really fit.
He doesn't
would have
like
fit.
women.
Oh, he does in my dreams, I'll tell you that.
Okay. I have got a recommendation for you that is lifting us out of the doldrums here, right? The Mushroom Tapes. It is a new book. It is by 3 of Australia's most impressive writers. Helen Garner.
Oh my God.
Bow down, Helen Garner. So she's written this alongside 2 very esteemed journalists who are also really good mates of hers. So Chloe Hooper, who's written about cases before, including the brilliant Tall Man book, and Sarah Krasnostein, who I think she wrote The Trauma Cleaner.
Yeah.
And she's an amazing, I think originally Canadian journo who lives in Australia now. And the 3 women are friends and obviously writers and decided that they would cover it together. And that's resulted in this book. It is, of course, the story of the mushroom trial as we all know it, right, which is the triple murder trial of Erin Patterson that happened in regional Victoria just a few months ago, where she was accused of murdering her parents-in-law, Gail and Don Patterson, as well as Gail's sister, Heather Wilkinson, and attempting to murder Heather's husband, Ian, right? But it is about so much more. They talk about all these different elements of the trial that they think might be more important or like that we might have missed. And there's lots of discussion about feminism, about religion, because the Patterson family were Baptists and very religious, and Erin married Simon and sort of entered that world and said she had a religious conversion when before she was a confirmed atheist. And it's so fascinating. It takes all these different looks at the case. If you ever read any of Helen Garner's crime books?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so she wrote particularly an amazing one called This House of Grief, which, full circle, your mate Dua Lipa has given a whole new lease of life to because she loved this book so much that she had Helen Garner on her podcast. Now, Helen Garner and Dua Lipa on a podcast talking about a book about a murder that happened in regional Victoria back in 2005 or something is not something that many of us had on our bingo card, but it happened. So Helen Garner is now like worldwide level famous for the most beautiful writing about real life trials and crimes, right? She brings so much humanity and intellect to it. Anyway, everyone knew that Helen Garner was in the courtroom when Erin Patterson's case was going on. And they were all like, oh, she's going to write another book. She's going to write another book. But Helen Garner says that she's too old to write another big book like that.
How old do you reckon she is?
So Helen Garner is 83 and she talks very openly in this book about how like she doesn't think she's coming to the end of her professional life and her life, I guess. And she talks about how she didn't think she had the energy in her to do another whole book on her own about a case like this. But 2 of her great journalist friends, Chloe Hooper, who has also written 2 books about crimes, including The Tall Man, which is an amazing book. But anyway, I digress. And Sarah Krasnostein, who is a Canadian crime, like she's Australian. Yeah, she's amazing. They kind of got together and decided they'd do it together. And what they've done is they basically drove down to the court as many times as they could and stayed down there and did all these things and recorded all their conversations and have turned their conversations into a book.
So are you listening to it almost like you'd listen to a podcast?
So I'm listening to the audiobook. So you can buy this book. When it came out, everybody was like, the cover. Like it's so plain. It's just literally green with the mushroom trials on it and their names. But it's a very deliberately lo-fi release. And they've been doing lots of events talking about it and stuff. But I'm listening to it. And as an audiobook, it's extraordinarily satisfying because it's their voices. Parts of it are like a phone call. Then there's a narrator who weaves it all together with sort of details of the trial. And this is a story that obviously we all know very well. But listening to these three brain-breakingly intelligent women talking about it is like earwigging on really smart friends. And they have such interesting takes on it. Like Garner is very interested in the marriage, like and how ordinary that breakdown was and the anger and the rage that you feel in those kind of situations. They're all really interested in the religious aspect of it, which is huge because, several of the victims were very religious people, and there's a lot of tension around all that. There's a lot of grace paid to the victims and what kind of people they were. It's just an amazing book. And they also talk, which is really interesting, about what it was like to be part of that scrum. Because although Garner loves court cases and she's covered millions of them, well, not millions, but lots of them, she's never been in one where you've got this massive international media and, as they say, like 9 podcasters, 14 different, and they are kind of repelled by the interest in it as much as they're then like exploring their own position in all that. So it's kind of meta. Anyway,
I'm going to listen.
It is so good.
And it's their voices.
It's all, it's them telling you. It's all I want to listen to. I mean, it's a true crime story on one level, but listening to these women talk about it is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
And I can't recommend it highly enough. The book is out, but the audiobook is special.
I have 2 quick recommendations. The first is a New Yorker article that I read over the weekend. Have you read Tatiana Schlossberg's essay about her terminal cancer diagnosis?
I have, because you sent it to me, and it is absolutely devastating.
It is so heartbreaking. She is 35, and a year ago, following the birth of her second child, she was diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia that is terminal. And it is just a stunning meditation on life and death and how desperately she still wants to be here. So she has some really interesting things to say about that. But it is, you'll cry, but it's also just a reminder that life is precious and sometimes we need that. And then to cheer you up, the hairbrush. The Outlouders have been asking. I teased this a few weeks ago. I said there's a hairbrush I'm obsessed with, but it is currently sold out. Well, it is back in stock.
I need a new hairbrush so bad. Don't look at my strands.
Your hair's beautiful, Em, but this
ratty.
one is perfect. It is called the Premium Boar Bristle Hairbrush by Brushology. Now,
Boar bristles.
Boar bristles, right? And I looked into this.
Boar as in like pig.
Yes.
Oh.
Now, if you're a vegan, don't buy this brush. But I looked into the ethics and I went, yes, I will use this hairbrush. So look, do your own research. But I have the knottiest hair. When I get out of the shower, so knotty. Since using this hairbrush, I don't have to do the fight you do to get all the knots out. I just don't have knots anymore. It just goes straight through, makes it really shiny, has saved me so much time. It is the best hairbrush I have ever used. I am obsessed. And it is $34. There is a link in the show notes.
Thanks for watching us here on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe or leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.